Hey guys, it's Jan, Not a Real Farm. Let's take a quick peek into our back 40 greenhouse here. It's been raining for days, so this is really the first time I've been able to sort of get back here, and it's in need of serious weeding. However, everything is growing super great. We've got peas and we've got, onions. We've got more beans. I've got to come back here and thin some of the carrots that have begun to sort of emerge. We've got parsnips. All of these are parsnips here in the back. So this is doing really well. We've got some beefsteak tomatoes that are popped up in this bed. And if we turn around, we have strawberries emerging. I'm just going to back up. We've got onion. We've got tomatoes that are all coming up now. I have volunteer spinach. And speaking of that, over here in the other bed, I actually have volunteer tomato plants that are coming back. And all of my cherries were actually in this bed last year. I think these are blue cherry tomatoes. So I will be taking those out of there, growing them up a little bit and seeing if we can get some more blueberry cherry tomatoes on top of the ones, of course, we already grew. Check this out. This is one of the potato beds that I have growing, and after all that rain, look at my potatoes. Isn't that awesome? We have an entire 10-foot bed here of potatoes. And people always ask me what the depth of my beds are. So these guys are 36 inches. My rhubarb has gone to seed. So those of that have never seen fresh seed from rhubarb, the flowers are going to burst out of this. And then you're going to see it actually turn into black seed that you would normally get to plant. All of these flowers will turn into seed. And I got one harvest off this plant before the seed came out. It was unbelievable. I've thrown in some cherry tomatoes here in the back. Just some more lettuce here on the side. See if we can get another lettuce crop. We might, after all this rain, be able to get some more rhubarb. It looks like I might be able to get some from this guy, and maybe even another crop from this one. This was the one that I originally picked. So let's see what happens. And then back here, way back in the back, remember I said I wanted to make a watermelon or pumpkin bed. And so what we did was we have to come back and we have to cut the grass, of course, all the time back here. But I threw in some more potatoes in here. And then just in the corners on this side, what I did was I planted, let me see if I can move some of this so you can see. That is watermelon. And then I planted pumpkins as well. I'm using every bit of available space this year, guys. Another potato bed here, 36 inches tall, 10 foot long. So all these, I have 4 beds of potatoes growing. And then here we've got more strawberries and more tomatoes. And lots of weeds. Look at the strawberry plants are huge this year. The heat's kicked up and it won't stop raining. So I've got to get back here and I've definitely got to do some weeding, but everything is growing great. Look how tall these tomatoes are getting. Wow. So the back 40 is doing awesome. These 2 beds in the front are only 2.5 feet tall. But everything's doing amazing back here. And I haven't been back here, as you can tell, with the weeds probably for, 3-4 days. So it's all going great. This is going to be a challenge. This is going to take some time. I'm going to have to spend some time back here to do this, but it's growing amazing. I can't tell you how many tomato plants I planted. I think I have over going to say probably over 100 tomatoes planted this year. So we'll see how these peas do and see if hopefully it won't get too hot where they get bitter. But yeah, guys, it's sweet back here. It's just I gotta do some weeding, but the back 40 is doing amazing. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. Yeah, let's see what the front looks like. Okay. After the rain, everything is really just taking off out here, especially with the heat. Wow. Okay. So you'll see a big difference in the vegetables out here as compared to what's in the greenhouse. And you can see here the cabbages have taken on some flea beetle damage. Look at all the flea beetles on there. So we're gonna have to control that and get something on that. Flea beetles are so challenging and they just pulverize your crops. It's a shame. We do our best. We can put netting on them. Sometimes they get through. So we'll have to see what we can do about that. We've got peas in the back. The beans are all taking off. And here, amongst, of course, everything, in beside here, there's a little row of rice growing down the middle. So we'll see if that actually does anything or comes to fruition. Every one of my potato bags is full. In my blueberry bed, I've got some Hasscaps in here. The Hasscaps are doing amazing in the top field there by the house. Hasscaps are really low maintenance. They actually survive minus 50 temperatures. Really sweet, sort of tart berry, but at the same time, they're really good for you. The vitamin C is almost 4 times higher than that of a blueberry. So we decided to grow those. They don't really necessarily have any natural enemies, of course, except rabbits, and really hardy against disease. So really low maintenance. I don't ever really have to pay attention to these. They do their own thing. Probably one of the best and quickest berry bushes I've ever grown. This is only a year's worth of growth. So they grow fairly quickly. It's really understated. If you haven't had an opportunity to grow a Hasscap, you really have to try. And I think you're going to find that they're a joy to grow because you don't have to pay so much attention to them. They don't sucker. And they sometimes, I mean, you can prune them if you want a specific shape, but I'm not that picky. But for me, it was the survivability of the plant in the harsh, winter that we have. So it's excellent. I'm really happy. We actually ended up getting 60 more bushes, so we're going to make a Hasscap row just for us for fruit production. Growing a little bit of corn in the corner. And this is my peas, more peas going up here, and onions and carrots. We do have some cauliflower growing, guys, but it's not going to do as well as what the ones in the greenhouse are doing. More tomatoes. We've got some sunflowers. These are purple, short purple sunflowers. Oh yeah, it is flea beetle time. Unbelievable. More beans, spinach. The peppers, of course, are loving the rain and then the heat, so they've taken off, no problem. These are all bell peppers. I have peanuts growing outside, which seem to be happy. Our flax has taken off. Hopefully the spinach won't bolt before I can have some of it. It seems to be doing okay. We could probably pick some of that today. Look at all the strawberries. The strawberries are going crazy now. And we have more peppers. This is a volunteer onion that came back from last year. It's actually growing to seed. I just wanted to probably just see it go to seed for fun and use some of it. So boy, oh boy, I got to get in here and do some weeding. The wind we had a big storm last night, so the wind actually blew over my dill plant here. This is just a bouquet dill, so I'll have to anchor that in some. Oh, it smells good. Here's my other dill. I save all my dill seeds, so I had somebody tell me that dill is really hard to find, and I'm not really sure why, because it's so super simple to grow. Up here, I just put a little board across, and then up here, I started growing out my strawberry spinach. I saved some seeds from last year, so they are growing great. Remember I was showing you in the woods you can grow it wild? Well, I saved some of the seeds, and now it's growing here. So, and then down here we have my sweetgrass. And then in this bed here is an entirely huge weed that's coming out. This is all lettuce. This is called a carnival lettuce. Onion, of course. Beans. Now this is called a Nona blue bean. I don't know if any of you have ever seen that, but I decided to save some seed too from it. The Nona blue bean almost looks like a blue jewel if the conditions are right. When you take it out, it's almost like it's translucent. It's actually pretty cool. We've got some baby corn. I wasn't really sure this was going to survive, but it came back with a vengeance. So just some tiny baby corn that you'd use in stir fries. And we have some leeks all the way up the bed there. And I think I said carrots, but we've got more carrots, and I've got to come out here and thin those out. So overall, guys, all of this is growing amazing. I have been really struggling here this year trying to get a crop off the ground outside. And it's really had to do with perseverance. And at one point, I actually had picked all the plants back out of these beds and brought them inside the greenhouse so that I could make sure they didn't get frostbitten. These are chickpeas, guys. Chickpeas, super easy to grow. They don't need a lot of attention. They don't need any fertilizing. They just like to be left alone. So we're going to be, picking our own chickpeas, and I'm going to be saving the seed from that as well. So far so good. Unfortunately, I'm just going to be fighting the flea beetles on my 50-day cabbage. And the only way I can see to do that is just to completely cover up the vegetable in a netting, in a row cover. And here, let me just pull up the tag here. This is, let me get out of the way, a black barley. So this is a hull-less barley. So you don't necessarily need any special machines to harvest it. The barley is going to start to do its thing, and you're going to actually be able just to take it, dry it, and basically, shake the barley off of it. There isn't any processing that you need to do with this. It's already started doing its thing, which I'm glad. So this is an experiment. I do have several other hull-less barleys, but I was interested in the black one for the vitamin content in it. So we'll see what happens. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right, guys? So I'm going to get out of here because the mosquitoes have finally recognized that, somebody is here, and they want to take advantage of that. But I just wanted to show you that the front garden is really doing well considering all of the weather fluctuations that we've had. And now I'm going to skip back into the greenhouse and just continue sort of weeding in there, and then jump back to the back greenhouse to do the same thing. So that's it, guys. Have a good afternoon. See you soon.